Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, John Burke. Welcome back to the All-American Savage Show podcast. Oh, man. What a day. What a day. Like, just, there's so much, like, news to cover in, like, a 24-hour period that just so much comes flooding in, and all the messages I get in my DMs on Instagram. It's, like, so fucking much to cover, which I guess is a good thing, because, like, 3 more years of Biden is just, like, unlimited content. It's amazing. It's like, you know, Trump gave us content, too, but not like Biden. Like, Biden's fiasco has just been incredible. But how are you doing this morning?
Good.
Okay.
Everything's going good.
Interesting. All right, yeah. You're some of the boring motherfuckers. No, I was out last night. I had like 3 hookers and a little thing of cocaine. It was great. Good time. It was like, I went home and I watched TV. That's all I did.
Dragging a little bit, but
thanks for joining us this morning, wherever you're listening to us from, whether you're at home with your kids, you're working, you're on your way to work, you're deployed across the nation, you're in Washington right now having to deal with that, or you're in California getting fucked with mail-in ballot voting and the Arizona audits and everything going on. So thanks for listening wherever you're at. And yeah, cancel this deck. Oh my gosh.
There it is.
There it is. So did you, before I left yesterday, this was breaking news that R. Kelly, did you see this? R. Kelly was found guilty of not just it wasn't extortion, it was
sex trafficking.
Well, that was one of them. I didn't know he was being looked at for that.
No idea.
I know there was like a whole pissing thing. Like, I want to do pissing, all that shit.
Good.
But it was for racketeering and sex trafficking.
You sounded a little bit like Christopher Walken when you said racketeering.
Racketeering, yep.
Yeah,
sound is bad. Hold on, let me fix the sound, guys. 1 second. Why is the sound bad? Choppy audio. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to fix this. Check. How's that? Is that any better? Check. 1, 2. Audio was choppy. Hold on. I got it. Still choppy. Okay, let me relaunch the system. Everything just like goes to shit.
That's it.
Is that any better?
I quit.
My producer's like, fuck it, I'm out. Oh my god. We're gonna start this again. Microphone, boom. Good to go. Okay, so I just had to restart the program. Oh my god. Okay. I think it's working now. We're gonna have to start this thing over. I think we should be good. Okay, we're good. All right. We're going to restart the podcast. So cut, and now we're good. All right, so for those tuning in, welcome. Thank you for joining us this morning, the All-American Savage Show podcast. We're going to have to remember to cut it to this point when we edit this thing, because apparently it sounded really bad when we first started. But what's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning in from wherever you're at across the world. Again, if you're on your way to work, if you're at home, wherever you may be, thank you for sharing. We're almost up to 100,000 plays this month on the podcast. Almost up to 100,000 plays. Like, this thing is growing. Thank you for everybody that shares the podcast, that gets us out there and it makes our voices more well heard, because we are censored hardcore. We're shadow banned left and right. I post anything on Facebook and holy fuck, they instantly limit it. But no, I was telling Josh before, like the new R. Kelly thing that happened. I was saying I posted on my Instagram and he was found guilty on all counts in racketeering and sex trafficking. I had no clue he was even being looked into for sex trafficking. But apparently he was found guilty. Like, so all the peeing on underage girls and stuff, it wasn't just that. Now in this age, it's just like, I wonder, like, if he was found guilty, who else? Because it ain't just one. There's other people he's working with. Who else is this dude working with? Hopefully that gets given up. But this guy, I mean, like, have fun in jail and burn in hell. You piece of shit. That's just nuts to me.
That is nuts.
That just goes to show you, like, the rich elites think they are so untouchable that nobody can screw with them. Like, they have so much money. It's like, no, like, in something like with sex trafficking, how popular or how viral it's gone and more attention and awareness being brought to it, like, to even consider, like, partaking in something like that is, like, it's just, number one, morally reprehensible, but number two, like, did you really think you weren't going to get caught?
Yeah, you really screwed up in the brain there.
I mean, that's just fucking disgusting to me. Like, I can't even imagine, like, I don't even want to know. What's going on this morning is right now, it's currently happening. I'm not sure if you're watching it or not, but Miley Austin McKenzie to testify on chaotic Afghanistan withdrawal at Senate hearing. And apparently it's going on live right now. I haven't listened in yet. But from what initial reports are saying, that it's basically going to be a backfire in Trump's face, because apparently Miley is now claiming that Trump knew about the China calls. Don't know if Miley's lying or not, but the article reads, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Mark Miley, and Head of U.S. Central Command, General Keith McKenzie, are set to testify before the Senate Armed Services Committee Tuesday morning and are expected to face a grilling from lawmakers on both sides of the aisle over the Biden administration's chaotic military withdrawal from Afghanistan. The hearing comes nearly a month after the Biden administration on August 31st withdrew all U.S. military assets from the region after having a presence there for more than 20 years. Like, what's the purpose behind these? Like, are they... Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around, because before it was like, okay, there's a hearing, cool. Like they're testifying before Congress. But what's happening as a result of that is the question. Like, is anybody being held accountable? Or is it just like, shame on you? Is this how they seek their punishment, by going before a committee and testifying about the fuck ups of the Biden administration? Like,
just shaming him publicly.
Is that all it is? Because that's not a big deal. It's like, okay, I'll go take my beatings and I'll just move on. Like, what the fuck is happening with this? It's ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But it's just, and that's why Republicans are so fed up with it, because it's like, like we talked about before, Cruz goes on there and just rips fucking Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
But nothing happens. Nothing. So it's like, what the fuck's the point? Like, we've lost all faith in our representatives in regards to like going after, and that's the other thing that pissed me off, is that when we still had control, like, they were talking about going after big tech censorship, but nothing ever came of it. It was just a lot of talk.
It's a real problem, because it's just an unelected wing of the Democratic Party that they use to spread their message, their propaganda.
Yeah. Well, the top military officials are expected to take questions on a number of factors, including their plans leading up to the withdrawal. And again, all they're going to do is deflect to Trump. They're going to try and blame Trump on this, and Trump's going to say, no, it wasn't me. And then Miley's going to be like, I feel the white rage boiling inside of me. I mean,
do you think his voice is that masculine?
I probably not.
I hate the voices or something like this. Like, I have so much white rage inside of me. I'm just so mad. I don't like white supremacists in my ranks. My precious white rage.
Before I get started, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very good guest tonight. It's going to be a special podcast at 7 p.m. CST on all channels. I Am Smith Fitness comes on the podcast. We're going to be doing an interview with him. Looking forward to that. That will be at 7 o'clock tonight, 7 p.m. CST. I Am Smith Fitness. For those who don't know who he is a gentleman up in New York that owns a gym that essentially has resisted government-enforced lockdowns and shutdowns. He's in a lot of debt, but he's doing his best to fight back against the system. He's been in a lot of newspapers, newspapers, online articles. I mean, newspapers too, I'd imagine, if you're still reading that. A lot of different things out there. So I Am Smith is coming on. He's going to be describing what he's going through. We're going to talk some politics, what he's got going on personally. So I'm looking forward to that. But
you know who else is thinking about moving to Texas?
Who?
50 Cent.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Shut up. Are you serious?
Yeah.
50 Cent about moving to Texas?
Yeah, he said he didn't realize he'd be paying 62% of his income to the IRS. He did know that. But
it's
Chelsea Handler,
like we kind of warned you.
Yeah, she was like, no. You got to vote Democrat.
You're not black, 50 Cent.
Come on.
If you didn't vote for Biden, you're not black, sir. And then Chelsea Handler's like, oh, no. I'll remind him of his blackness. Like, another rich white liberal, it's like, no. Let me speak for the black guy. Let me do that.
Yeah, you're welcome here. Just make sure you vote accordingly.
Oh, my God. Vote according to how white liberals tell you to vote. Because if you don't, well, then you're an outcast. Like, get the fuck out of here. Head of the title today. This is real. This is 100% real. And this is just another stepping stone towards potential internal national conflict, even more so than it already is. Governor Newsom, who survived the recall, and interesting how he waits after the recall is finished to launch this, but Governor Newsom signs bill making universal vote by mail permanent in California.
Really? Wonder how he won.
Every registered Californian voter will get a ballot mailed to them in the future elections under a bill signed Monday by Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. The law makes permanent a change adopted during the pandemic for the 2020 election and the recent recall against Gavin Newsom. California, the nation's most populous state, joined several other western states in mailing all voters a ballot, including Utah, Colorado, Washington, and Oregon. Republicans who hold a minority in the state legislature oppose the expansion by vote by mail. Under the new law, ballots in California must go out at least 29 days before the election. Voters still have the option to drop off their ballot or vote in person. Prior to the pandemic, many Californians were already voting by mail. Voters like having options for returning their ballot, whether by mail or at a secure drop box, a voting center, or a traditional polling station. And the more people who participate in elections, the stronger our democracy, and the more we have the assurance that the elections reflect the will of the people of California. California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, a Democrat, said in a statement. All they're trying to do now is just continuously to continue to rig the system in their favor. Mm-hmm. The mail-in ballots are ridiculous because originally mail-in ballots were for mainly absentee ballots, military deployed, things such as that. Now it's for everybody?
It's for everybody.
This is ridiculous. It used to be that you'd go to the voting center and you cast your vote and then fucking leave.
Yeah.
This is just,
they've got to figure out how to
they've got the system right. Like
swing the votes into their favor.
I don't know what to even say at this point. Like California's lost. It's fucking lost. There's no saving it. It's just one of those things of just let it burn.
Yeah,
like if you're Republican, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, you just got to move out of there.
Let it burn. I wish more people could afford to leave California. That's the problem for a lot is that they can't. But it's just one of those of let California sink.
I don't know how you can afford to live there.
Bro, yeah. The insane taxes. Just the housing market over there. Like
California, New York.
Yeah.
I mean, look at
even Dallas.
50 Cent.
50 Cent is like, I'm going to pay, what do you say, 61% in taxes?
Yeah, that's what it'd go up to.
Jesus, on the Biden's thing?
Because of the New York taxes and then the tax hike coming up.
Can you imagine 61% of your income that you yourself have earned through hard work is being taken and given to the government?
Mm-hmm.
That's just nuts to me. 61%.
Crazy.
And again, basic economics. Like Jen Psaki tweeted out, or she talked about how that with the rising, where was it? Let me see this. Like Jen Psaki is so fucking stupid. She tweets out, or she said, it's unfair and absurd that companies would raise costs for consumers due to higher taxes. Do you not understand how economics work?
No, she's a dummy.
They're all fucking idiots. Like, it's a shame. It's a shame that companies would raise, costs and things such as that to pay, for higher tax rates. What did you think was going to happen?
Yeah, she's stupid.
They're all fucking stupid. Like, it's a shame that when you hit somebody in the face, they hit you back.
Okay, Jen, we don't have any more questions for you. You're stupid.
Like, who fucking put this retard in there? It's a shame that because we're stealing more of your money that they're going to raise prices of cost of goods. And it's like, no shit.
Okay.
When it comes between me and you, oh my God. Oh my God.
Jen's never produced anything in her life.
I honestly kind of feel bad for her because she has to represent an administration of retards. She does. It's like,
she wanted that position.
Miss Psaki, why did the president shit himself today? Well, the president was trying to set a statement or make a statement that it's okay to poop yourself in public. But she half the shit she says, she doesn't believe because it's gotten so far left, so outlandish that even she's just kind of like, wait a minute. But
she really does believe it. I mean, she really is stupid.
I don't know, man, because you see her responses in some of these things that you can clearly tell she's pulling something back. And it's not saying that I still don't like her, but when they ask her like straightforward questions and she just deflects. Like, Jen Psaki, are there going to be enforcing vaccinations at the border? No. Well, blah, blah, blah. Moving on. It's like, that she knows she's wrong, and she doesn't have an answer for that. Like, she's so full of shit, her eyes are brown. It's ridiculous.
Terrible.
Newsom signed 10 other voting-related bills on Monday, crafting them as a part of an effort to expand voting rights and access. Voting rights have become a major political flashpoint. It's funny. It's always funny to me how Democrats instantly start saying that something is racist. When you start saying, hey, we want to ensure that this election system is fair and balanced, and it's above being hacked or manipulated, suddenly it's racist. Mm-hmm. It was never racist before to have to go to the polling stations. But now when you have to show proof of ID, that's racist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is what they do.
That's right.
This is what they do. Every single time. Hey,
racist.
We are going to, implement this new safety procedure to make sure, if you really think about it, like even COVID vaccinations shit they're saying is racist. So at least they have consistency in their stupidity. I'll give them that. I will give them that. At least you fucking morons are consistent in your moronic viewpoints. Like, that's racist. No, you're just retarded. That's all it is. Fucking morons. It's just,
make up a lie. Stick to the lie. Continue the lie.
Continue the lie. Exposed to the truth, ignore the truth, continue to lie. As states across our country continue to enact undemocratic voter suppression laws, I love how they say this. It's voter suppression. How? by requiring an ID. You have to have an ID to drive, and you morons are fucking driving. You have no problem with that.
Yeah, it is voter suppression, but on this side.
Yeah, exactly.
Our votes are being suppressed.
Exactly.
Because of fake votes.
I'm sorry that we just don't agree with illegals coming in and voting to how this government works and how our country's supposed to be run. Forgive me for that. Because it's not like they have the best track record of voting, considering their countries, or if they even have the ability to vote.
Yeah.
So, don't sit there and, shit down my neck and tell me it's raining. Mail-in voting put California Republicans in a tricky spot during the recent recall election against Newsom, which he handily defeated. Many Republicans didn't trust the process. I'm telling you, the next time a Republican wins, Democrats are going to be saying the exact same thing. It was rigged. We need voter ID. Mm-hmm. You'll be singing a different tune. Guaranteed.
We'll see.
Guaranteed. If Newsom would have lost, they would be screaming bloody murder for freaking election integrity. Bloody murder.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
There was no way that he was going to lose that.
I think we were all kind of hoping that he would, but we kind of knew
absolutely.
he wouldn't.
But
so.
I mean, it's so rigged over there.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
I mean, there's no other word to describe it other than rigged.
Another proposal Newsom signed releases the rules around ballot signatures, giving officials more leeway to accept ballots if the signature doesn't exactly match what's on the file. Jesus Christ. It's happening right before our eyes. Another proposal signed relaxes the rules around ballot signatures, giving officials more leeway to accept ballots if the signature doesn't exactly match what's on file. The legislation by Democratic Senator Josh Becker bars election officials from taking a voter's party preference into account when evaluating their signature. Republicans in the state legislature also oppose the bill. Let me read that again. The legislation by Democratic Senator Josh Becker bars election officials from taking a voter's party preference into account when evaluating their signature. Duh. I mean, that's like saying we're going to pass a law that bans racism, but that doesn't stop it. You can't just sit there and say something's illegal and then it just stops.
Yeah. Murder's illegal as well, right?
Oh, I thought something like that. Yeah.
Stealing.
They're just all they're doing. They are just basically putting padlocks on the system they've manipulated and rigged. Oh my God. If this continues, I honestly believe that if this really continues to go down, spiraling down this hole, there will be a civil war. I really think so. It's going to be fought out in the courts first, and then when that fails, the people have no other choice. They have no other option. If they feel like their votes no longer matter and the system is rigged and Democrats are going to take control, that's just a takeover by using law as your weapon, fake law as your weapon. And what other options do they have? What other alternatives do they have? This is insanity to me. But Democrats in their mind feel like they're justified in doing this. Fuck, even Don Lemon comes out, I think it was yesterday, and his rhetoric, oh my God. CNN's Lemon says Trump supporters not playing with reality should face consequences for believing Trump won. Bro, if something pops off in this country, I hope somebody comes for you first. I know. You make threats like that. He's sitting there edging people on they should face repercussions. They should face consequences. What are you going to do, Don? What are you going to do? All you're trying to do is stir the people up. And then when that happens, you're not going to take blame. That's all you're going to do. They should face well, then fucking do something, Lemon. Do something. Get the cock out of your mouth and go fucking do something. CNN anchor Don Lemon on Monday during the handoff from Chris Cuomo. By the way, they're still not covering that. And an article came out today talking about MSNBC, ABC, NBC. None of them are covering Chris Cuomo's previously, what we talked about yesterday, his sexual assault, that he apologized. None of them are covering it. Nobody's touching it.
Strange.
Weird. It's almost as if these press agencies just cover for each other. It's a united front. It's not about press or journalistic integrity anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Not even a little bit.
What are people supposed to do? What are they supposed to believe anymore?
Yeah, luckily he's got the worst ratings in all of television. He's terrible. Well, all of CNN is terrible.
They're cancer.
That's why nobody watches it. The only place you can watch it is
airports
and the gym for some reason.
I don't know why the airports have CNN. I really don't. Every airport I go to, it's why do you have this trash on? I understand people feel the same way about Fox, but put on Cartoon Network or something.
Put something else on.
Get
HGTV.
this crap off of here. It's ridiculous.
History Channel, something.
It's stupid.
Cartoons.
Oh my God.
The old cartoons. You know, the old Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah, not the woke progressive bullshit that we have right now that's just fucking stupid. Like, everything's got a message now. Everything's got undertones or overtones of just, ugh. CNN anchor Don Lemon on Monday during a handoff from Chris Cuomo said that supporters of former President Donald Trump were not in reality and should face consequences for the damage they're doing to our democracy by believing Trump won in 2020. Where was Lemon with the Russian collusion? Lemon was all over that. He was deep-throating that motherfucker, which was proven to be false.
Double-fisting.
Yeah, absolutely. So what about like the damage you did to our fucking republic and our democracy when you were pushing forward this bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Lemon said there was one political party. I've read this article, and I'm telling you, at the very end, what he says, it's like, bro, this guy is a brown shirt. Like, seriously. Lemon said there is one political party in this country that is working on reality, and that is the Democratic Party. Reality, really? The party that embraces multiple fucking genders? That you don't know which bathroom to use? That a man is technically a woman if they just chop off their dick and the chromosomes don't even fucking matter anymore? Are you talking about that party that's working reality? The party of reality that says voter ID is voter suppression and racist? Are you serious? Like, it blows my mind how we can sit there and say all of these things, yet behind him, his party is burning. It's burning to the ground. You are founded in fucking insanity. You are insane. You're the party of insanity. This idea, like, we needed to progress in certain areas. I'll give you that. But we've progressed in such a manner that now insanity is being embraced and praised as normalcy. Drag queen hour, drag queen story hour with children. It's nuts to me. You're the party of pedophilia. And you support this bullshit. Drag kids at your LGBT parades. Don't tell me you're the party founded in reality. You're not. You're the furthest thing from it. But even in that, they're not governing very well at the moment. Or wait. Lemon said there is one political party in this country that is working on reality, and that is the Democratic Party. But even in that, they're not governing very well at the moment. They are not performing the duty of being good politicians in the moment. They don't see the urgency of what has happened across the country with voting rights, the urgency of what is happening in the big lie. They are still operating on thinking that, oh, everything is normal. You know, we've got to play politics as usual. It's not politics as usual. What is happening of the right is not politics as usual. What is happening on the right is not right. It's wrong. They should pay the consequences for what they're doing to our democracy, the damage they're doing to our democracy, and the damage they're doing to this republic. It continued, we listen to the fringes too much. Like, that's rich coming from Lemon and Cuomo. The fringes. Like, you are the fringe. Mm-hmm. You're the left fringe. We listen to the fringes too much. The fringes have the loudest voices. The fringes all the way on the right. You know why they have the loudest voices? Because morons like you give them a voice. You give them a platform. Like, don't sit there and say they have the loudest voices when you cover it. You are giving them the voice. You are giving them the platform. The fringes have the loudest voices. The fringes all the way on the right have the loudest voices. The people who are not, you know, playing with reality, the Trumpers, we listen to them too much. And here's where it gets good. Lemon said, I'm telling you, if you're Republican and you care about what is happening in this country, you need to get on the Democratic side or the Democrat side to get your party in order. That is the only way to fix it. So to fix your party, to fix your leaking boat, get in this other boat while your boat sinks. That's the only way to fix it. This guy is such a moron.
Yeah, he's stupid too.
Such a fucking moron. You can't be serious with this. You really can't be serious in thinking like this. You heard it. You heard it right here. He says we should face the consequences. What consequences? That's my question. What consequences are those? What should we face for people questioning election integrity? Which we just saw California, again, rig the system to put it into their favor. Mm-hmm. Like, what consequences, Donnie boy? What are you going to do? Like, what the fuck are you going to do? All they're trying to do is get these sound pieces to egg other people on. You know, if Trump had said something like this, they would be accusing him of being an authoritarian or blaming school shootings or any kind of violent uproar. You know, Don Lemon saying that was worse than what Trump said on January 6th. Don Lemon is legitimately calling for something, subtly calling for something here.
Like, most of what the Democratic Party said was worse than what Trump said.
Oh, 100%.
You know, Maxine Waters talking about...
Go out, harass, push back.
Yeah.
They literally call for this, and then they turn around
and they did it. People did it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%. These people are unhinged. Unhinged, crazy motherfuckers.
Crazy.
Just nuts. Nuts to me. But here's something interesting. Obama calls open borders unsustainable. Migrant crisis is heartbreaking. Who built the cages? Barack? Who built the cages? Barack? Obama called for comprehensive immigration reform to fix dysfunctional system. Former President Obama called for comprehensive immigration reform. You know, I love how he does that. It's like, what did you do while you were in office?
Talk about it.
You said, we need to fix the broken immigration system. You were president for 8 fucking years. Shut the fuck up, Barry. You had your chance and you fucked it up.
That's what I did.
If you like your cage, you can keep it. We're going to be offering comprehensive cage overriding.
That's how he starts everything. We're going to put him in a cage.
We're going to put him in a cage.
Listen,
I love it.
You going to come across the border? We're going to put you in a cage.
I get in like the Yogi Bear for like, hey, boo-boo. Hey, boo-boo. We're going to put him in a cage.
It's the same tempo.
Oh, my God. Obama, during an interview in ABC's Good Morning America that aired Tuesday, said reform to the U.S. immigration system is something that is long overdue. Again, this is falling on deaf ears. You had 8 years. Shut up. He added that immigration is a tough issue because Americans want to be compassionate, but that the U.S. having open borders is an unsustainable idea. Obama's comments come after more than 14,000 Haitian migrants camped under a bridge in Del Rio, Texas, after a surge in the border crossings. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas admitted Sunday that the vast majority of Haitian migrants who crossed the southern border in recent weeks have already been released into the United... Oh, Jesus. Good grief. The U.S. border in recent weeks have already been released into the United States, and it is possible that more will follow them. We have an open border at the south.
Oh, yeah.
We have a fucking open border at the south.
There's no telling how many people are here now.
Jesus
They don't
Christ.
Even know.
Now, here's the
maybe
thing.
they do know, but...
If those Haitians came across, which they clearly did, who's to say the Taliban couldn't do the exact same fucking thing?
That's probably what happened. It was like a big smoke screen. Just bum rush the border.
I think there's more of an existential threat from an open southern border than from the withdrawal of Afghanistan and giving Taliban and the rest of those terrorists free reign in that country. I think there's more of a threat coming to us at the southern border right now. Mm-hmm. We have a hole in our perimeter, and it needs to be closed. This is nuts. This is fucking nuts, ladies and gentlemen. Let me read that again. The Secretary of Homeland Security, Mayorkas, admitted Sunday that the vast majority of Haitian migrants who crossed the southern U.S. border in recent weeks have already been released into the United States, and it is possible that more will follow. So you just let 14,000 people skip the line. Meanwhile, other immigrants doing it the right way just got told to fuck off?
Yeah, that's right. Get on board with it.
The complete just idiocy of this administration, the complete disregard for the Constitution, the complete disregard for American priorities, for those living on the southern border, for the immigrants that came over and did it the right way and paid lots of money, went through a long period, a lot of paperwork. These guys just get to come up and say, you know what, screw it, we're not waiting in the line, we're coming across. Why is anybody going to wait in line anymore? Why? Why would they?
I don't know. Maybe they can't swim. They'll walk across the Del Rio.
This is nuts. This is fucking nuts. 14,000 people just released. So far, approximately 12,400 of the people are having their cases heard by immigration judges, while another 5,000 are being processed by the Department of Homeland Security. Only 3,000 are in detention. Jesus. Obama said the situation at Del Rio is a painful reminder that we don't have this right yet, and we've got more work to do. How long have we had a southern border?
Every president said they were going to build a border wall. Like every single one of them going back to, what, Reagan? Saying we're going to build a fence.
This is a Democrat problem right here. The Democrats did not want us to build this border wall. They didn't want to do the funding for it, and this is the situation. But they're not going to take responsibility. Schumer, Pelosi, the rest of them that fought Trump left and right against this, now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. These Democrats like Obama and Biden, they fought Trump tooth and nail when Trump wanted to do something. He wanted to do something. He was taking action. And now it's a problem. This is insanity to me.
It's a shame.
The fucking Democrats should be ashamed of themselves. To sit there and the hypocrisy, this mountain of lies they sit on, this hypocrisy that they embrace so much, they sit there and it's like they're sitting there shooting a motherfucker. It's like, we need to stop murder in this city. You literally just fucking shot somebody. You sit there and you say, we have a problem at the southern border. You're part of the problem. You fought against it. And then Obama for 8 years did shit. I mean, he built cages. I mean, at least he did that. And put them in cages. Jesus Christ. Well, I'm sorry, they're criminals. What do you want me to say?
There's got to be something to deter people from coming over.
Bullets deter people.
Or a giant wall with security.
As big-hearted as he is, nobody understands that better than Joe Biden, Obama said. And the question is now, are we going to get serious about dealing with this problem in a systemic way, as opposed to these one-offs where we're constantly reacting to the emergencies? And I think that's... Okay, I can't even finish reading this guy. This guy's a fucking joke. Fucking joke.
Oh, I'm just down in my basement.
Had my chance, and I didn't do that much about it. Here's another good one. Joe Biden says, we need up to 98% vaccination rate before we go back to normal. Suck my dick, you fucking old fuck. Dude, death cannot come soon enough for you. And when it does, I will be celebrating. Fuck this tyrant. I will never take the vaccine. Not going to happen. President Joe Biden said Monday he wanted to get up to 98% of Americans vaccinated before the country could go back to normal. That's not going to happen. It won't. I think what they say, it's like a 50% right now, something like that.
Is it vaccination rate?
Yeah, something like that.
I
forget what it was.
Yeah, I'm not even sure.
The president was asked by reporters at the White House about what the vaccination rate had to be before the country could return to normal. Here's the thing: Biden doesn't have a say in that. Texas is already back to normal. We're full open. If your state is not back to full normal or full open, that's on your leadership. Biden does not have that right. He does not have the right to sit there and dictate to states what they can and cannot do in that capacity. At least DeSantis, Abbott, and the rest of them are standing up and saying, go fuck yourself. I think we get the vast majority. Like, it's going on in so many. He says, I think we get the vast majority, like is going on in so many, some industries and some schools, 96, 97, 98%. I'm reading it verbatim. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
This here says there's at least 65% of the population have received at least one dose of vaccination, and overall 56 people of the population have been fully vaccinated.
That ain't gonna happen. Never gonna do it. Not gonna do it. Slippery as a snake. Not gonna do it. Biden commented after getting and promoting a third coronavirus vaccine booster shot from Pfizer in front of the media. You really think he got the real one? There ain't no fucking way he got the real one. No. Ain't no fucking way.
They just loaded it up with butterscotch ice cream.
It's probably saline.
Probably
that's all it is. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. A booster or these vaccines that have no long-term clinical trials, do you really think they're going to give that to the president? One has no long-term clinical trials.
I don't think so.
Fuck no, they're not
Probably
going to.
Give him a shot of monoclonal antibodies.
We're getting to that because now
monoclonal antibody.
You're going to like this because the new article just broke about Governor Abbott and DeSantis doing something new. But the president noted approvingly that over 77% of adults had gotten at least one shot of the vaccine. Biden's goal is a much higher estimate than those previously voiced by federal health officials. In February, Director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, Dr. Anthony Fauci, said that about 70% to 85% of the population should be fully vaccinated before the country could go back to normal. Another Delta variant of the virus emerged. Fauci and other federal officials have resisted setting a percentage goal, instead urging more Americans to get vaccinated. And further also saying the Delta variant is not nearly as bad as the original. They said it's not.
What?
Go
you
figure.
Mean it's weakening?
It's weakening.
It's weakening and spreading faster?
It's almost like herd immunity is actually, the antibodies are doing their job, and weird. It's so fucking weird.
I'm still waiting for China to...
Oh, that ain't gonna happen.
To pay for this.
That ain't gonna happen. One thing for certain, a quarter of the country can't go unvaccinated and us not continue to have a problem, he said. Then fucking bring body bags. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna fucking happen. Biden again argued that the coronavirus pandemic was a pandemic of the unvaccinated. Really? Because this vaccine bullshit doesn't work. You're still getting it. You're still dying from it. Like, shut the fuck up. So please do the right thing, he said. Please get the shots, and it can save your life. The president will travel to Chicago on Wednesday to promote more businesses enacting vaccine mandates. Oh, by the way, there was another 67 people shot in Chicago this last weekend under Lori Lightfoot. Why don't you promote that, Biden? More people are dying from gunshots in that city than COVID. That's not a problem, though. Well, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on.
Oh, these bullets are racist.
These bullets are racist.
They're only shooting black people.
If you like your gun, you can keep it. If you don't like your vaccine, you can get a different one. These pieces of shit. Oh, here we go. This isn't really making very big headlines, and I wonder why. New York Times issues correction after claiming Border Patrol used horse reins to strike at migrants.
What?
You don't say.
You're kidding.
You're kidding me. The New York Times corrected an article from last week which asserted that the horseback Border Patrol agents used their reins to strike at running migrants. The Times correction states the original version of the article overstated what is known about the behavior of some Border Patrol agents on horseback. And Biden will not apologize. They won't get their horses back. This lie that was perpetuated by the press will continue on, and there will be no accountability.
Yeah.
No accountability.
Gaslit the whole... That's
100%.
Gaslighting 101 right there.
100%.
They made up a lie. They continued with the lie. And they printed the lie.
And all they got to do is issue a retraction. Their bases are covered. They should be fucking sued to high hell.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was that guy on the horse...
He would justly have a case.
Yeah.
He would justly.
I would sue Joe Biden.
Yep.
I would sue every news outlet that said that he had whipped somebody.
Mm-hmm. That is 100% like.
Because didn't he get fired from his job?
I don't know. They said they were investigating it.
Yeah, I mean, that whole thing. He should.
That's what Kamala was calling for. We need an investigation at the southern border where I'm supposed to be. Yeah.
A full-on lawsuit. I would support a GoFundMe for that.
Oh my God! The New York Times wait, hold on. The Times White House correspondent Michael D. Shear wrote an article on September 24th where he reported President Joe Biden's call for consequences for Border Patrol. This is what Democrats are doing. Mm-hmm. Like Biden says, we're going to make them pay. What? Excuse me?
You Americans, I hate you,
bro. I'm to the point now where it's just kind of like.
He's crazy.
It's like this has gotten so out of fucking hand. The rhetoric that is coming from our administration, our governing officials, it's getting to a point where people are gonna get fed up. And it's like it's gonna. And I can't say it. I want to say it so fucking bad, but I can't say it. I'll get banned. All I can say is what I'm thinking. I would go to prison for back in the Renaissance period for treason, or wishing death upon somebody. I do not like these people. I think they are fucking disgusting individuals. I think we've gone past the point of no return to where you cannot negotiate with terrorists. You can't. These people are political terrorists making these veiled threats. And before long, look at Australia.
Yeah.
You see what's going on in Australia? Without the guns, and this is what Republicans don't seem to understand. It's like, I made a post. I said, look at Australia right now. Cops are legitimately harassing people in the street. It's insanity. Just go Google some of the videos you're seeing in Australia. These cops are running buckshot over these civilians. And there was one video I watched yesterday where a man was literally put on the ground and handcuffed because he was smoking a cigarette 500 meters from his house. He had 2 masks in his pocket because he was smoking a cigarette. The cops fucking put him on the ground and put him in handcuffs because they said he had no business being outside. There was another video of a woman not wearing a mask. The cops literally threw her to the fucking ground. And I'm going to say something very bold. If they had guns and they turned on those cops and popped them in the head, they'd be completely justified. Shoot those motherfuckers. If it got to that point in America, it's coming. It will happen. I honestly believe it's going to hit that boiling point. It's going to happen. But those cops over there doing that bullshit for the sake of your safety, bro, Australia, that's why you don't give up your fucking guns. And I hope the black market gun industry over there just explodes.
It seems like that would be a good way to actually mandating everybody in law enforcement get a vaccine to weed out the people that will do what you tell them to do.
And now you get your bidders. Yep.
Yeah.
You've got your freaking people. You got your army. You got your army of fucking traitors.
Police that aren't going to do that stuff, and then they're going to resign. And then you have your police who don't care, and will get the vaccine and will arrest you for smoking a cigarette 300 feet from your house.
It's fucking nuts.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's what happens. But there's so much protesting going on over there. I mean, God bless Australia. I feel bad for those people.
Yeah, I mean, if you get everybody together in the streets, I mean, they far outnumber.
Oh, absolutely.
The opposition over there.
The cops over there with the freaking Australia. You see, Australia is a prime example of what happens when your government has guns and you do not. Those people have no way to fight back beyond sticks, shields, and the cops have guns.
Alligators.
You get what I'm saying, though? Ladies and gentlemen, listen, this is why the Second Amendment is so crucial. And this is why you need to be buying your firearms, getting as much ammunition as you can, because if the day ever comes that it happens, you're armed and you're ready to go. Well, John, we've never done anything. You don't understand. You don't understand. It's not going to happen right away. I think if America gets to the point where Australia's at right now, it will get that way. It will eventually get that way. America's at a boiling point. It really is. Like, I'm watching this. But I'm telling you, it gets to a point where politics fails, diplomacy fails, and these tyrants in uniform that we elect are trying to pass these so-called laws to keep us safe that are infringing on our individual rights. Our forefathers would support something like that in a sense of like rising up and fighting back.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. If it continues, it will happen. I honestly believe it will happen. I will never take the vaccine at this point. I will never take the vaccine.
No, you're pushing it too much.
Mm-hmm. Now it's a matter of like, I don't like it. It's like, why don't you want the vaccines? Because you just don't trust. Like, no, now it went from I just don't trust it to I don't like being told what the fuck to do.
I don't trust you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Yeah, keep pushing it on me.
I'm not doing it. It's not going to happen at this point. I'm never taking a vaccine.
Get out of here.
Well, then you're not going to be able to work.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Start my own business selling CBD mugs.
This episode is brought to you by ShellshockCBD.com. Oh, my God. President Biden vowed Friday that Border Patrol agents who mistreated Haitian migrants crossing the Rio Grande will pay after an investigation, calling the scene at the border horrible to see. In his first comments on actions by his administration that have drawn severe condemnation from many of his own supporters. It's outrageous, he said. I promise you, those people will pay. There will be an investigation underway now, and there will be consequences. There will be consequences.
For who?
For who, yeah. Who, Biden? Who? Get the fuck out of here. These pieces of shit. These pieces of fucking shit. America's gone the way of the dodo bird, ladies and gentlemen. We've sunken into insanity. This is where we stand right now. We have a president that is senile. He is clearly senile. Dementia is set in. He cannot run this country. These veiled threats that him and his fucking cronies are making, it's not falling on deaf ears. That's why more ammunition's being bought, more guns are being sold, and people are stocking up. Because here's the deal, like you cops that come out there and you enforce this shit, when you have more civilians that outnumber you with the same type of firearm, you're going to change your mind. You're going to change your fucking mind.
I don't think it's necessarily the American population that has lost their minds. You know, I think there's a small percent that still votes a Democrat, and they'll always vote Democrat no matter what. Mm-hmm. But I think it's just the politicians that have really,
if you're a Democrat watching this, you don't understand or you don't see or recognize how Democrats have essentially gone the way of the authoritarian, you have your head buried in the sand. Mm-hmm. Like you've got it buried in the sand.
If nobody's ever watched Yuri Bezmenov, that KGB defector, like any of his videos from the 80s where he talks about the propaganda and the slow drip into education, mostly.
It's already in the schools?
Yeah, he's like, you could take somebody and show them the lie, go down there and show them everything and show that everything's a lie, and they still won't believe you. Mm-hmm. And that's when
to save
there's
the younger
nothing else that you
generation.
can do. Yeah,
to save the younger generation, it's the parents that got to get involved in the schools.
Yeah,
you have to. To essentially stamp out this bullshit socialist mindset, critical race theory, all this bullshit that essentially is rooted in like some kind of supremacy outside of like being white equality.
Yeah, why do you think they want universal daycare?
Mm-hmm. Everything for free.
Yeah, the last thing you want is the government watching your kids.
Oh my God. Or Biden's idea of like trying to, and it actually, the article came out we were talking about before, that if you have over $600 in your bank account, the IRS can actually see.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, I don't think so. If the government was really concerned about our health, why wouldn't gym memberships be free? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't healthy food be free?
Mm-hmm. Because people want this.
They don't care about that. No, they want
the idea of being able to do what they want to get what they want. It doesn't work that way. It's this idea of like, to get what you want, you have to work for it.
Yeah.
America's not about that anymore. America has become so. America is Rome. We've become so spoiled and saturated with things being given to us. This idea of no longer having to work for what you want. All this bullshit that has been embraced by the left. We've grown ripe on the riches gained by other people paying for it in blood, and we take advantage of and take for granted the freedoms that we currently have. And the government's trying to take that away nonstop. But that's what America's turned into. I mean, this country has become shameful. Fucking shameful under Democrats.
And most Republicans do. I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
but I mean, if we had to weigh the two, Democrats are 10 times worse.
Oh yeah,
10 times fucking worse.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like 100% of Democrats are well, except for maybe Tulsi Gabbard.
There's a few that you can like negotiate and I don't know.
I only know of Tulsi Gabbard, but the other ones I'm going to say 100% are total frauds.
You're going to like this. Texas Governor Greg Abbott defies Joe Biden, purchases antibody treatments outside ration. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, and I think DeSantis did this as well, defied President Joe Biden on Monday when he confirmed the direct purchase of monoclonal antibody treatments to circumvent federal restrictions. Governor Abbott says Texas is bypassing Biden's administration or admin's restriction on monoclonal antibody treatments by procuring them direct from the provider. Radio host Dana Loesch posted on social media to make publicly aware of the deal. The Daily Wire reports Austin bureau chief for the Dallas Morning News, Bob Garrett, quickly followed. He further detailed Governor Greg Abbott says Texas has obtained its own supply of Regeneron despite roadblocks from the Biden administration. From drug wholesaler AmerisourceBergen state purchasing directly, Abbott tells Dana Loesch, consider this treatment, he tells people, testing for COVID-19. For those that don't know what that is, I looked it up. Essentially, what is Regeneron treatment? Regeneron treatment, it's called REGN-CoV2, is a combination of two types of monoclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies work by targeting coronavirus's spike protein, blocking the virus from entering your body's cells and stopping the infection from spreading. That's an article published on September 4th of 2021. Now, again, I am not a medical personnel. Medical person. I don't know what this shit is. I'm just reading what I found, ladies and gentlemen. So you take this information, you do what you want with it. But it says the need for the buy arose after the Biden administration set limits on what states can and cannot purchase in the way of such treatments. I love that. The federal government says you can only treat it this way. Suck my star-spangled sack. Wow.
If you don't see that as concerning, that's a problem. Like, you're a problem.
Dude, this administration is just fucking, oh my God.
They say you can only do this.
Bring back the guillotines. Oh my God, bring back the fucking guillotines.
What?
The need for the buy arose after the Biden administration set limits on what states can and cannot purchase in the way of such treatments. As Breitbart News reported, limits were imposed to cut the distribution of monoclonal antibodies to red states such as Florida and Alabama, contending those states, including Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Georgia, and Louisiana, are comprising too big a share of the supply in recent weeks, 70%. So Greg Abbott's like, we'll just buy straight from the fucking provider. Like, we're not going to use the federal government to give us this. We're just going to buy it directly from them, as it should be.
They should have been doing this back when Trump had coronavirus, and he went in, he was talking about Regeneron and all these monoclonal antibodies back then. That's when they should have been setting up therapeutic tents.
Well, I mean,
I think a lot of people dropped the ball on this. I'm glad to see him doing it now.
Yeah.
But this should have been going on about a year and a half ago.
Watch if this actually works the way they say it's intending to work, and it actually does fight COVID-19. I wonder what this will spawn in the future, because if there's an actual effective way of doing this that goes against Pfizer and Johnson & Johnson, the rest of them, there's a more natural way of treating it and dealing with it. What's that going to do economically, or what's that going to do to the government? Because it's like, if we're seeing the data, so if this did work, MSM will never let that data out. They will never let it get out there. They won't. It's going to be one of those things we're going to try and keep this hush-hush, keep it soft, keep it quiet.
You'll have to go state by state. Yeah. I mean, so obviously Florida is going to put out the results. Texas will put out the results. Any state run by a competent governor, for the most part, will put out the numbers showing that these therapeutics do work. If you have COVID, go to this therapeutic tent, get the IV full of this stuff.
That would be so amazing. That would be so amazing.
Well, luckily over in Rockwall, Texas, they have one of those tents. I'm sure there's more of them, but I guess they're extremely hard to find.
And these things have actually been tested over a long period of time, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, they're just therapeutics.
Yeah. The White House said the Biden administration policy was to make the distribution of monoclonal antibodies more equitable by acting to interfere in the open market. Wow. Once again, we see why the federal government fucks it all up again, by intervening in the open market. That's the other thing, is like, if this stuff doesn't work, why is Biden rationing it? Why would you ration it to various different states if it doesn't work? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because they want everybody to use the vaccine.
Yeah, don't tell me the government's not in bed with these pharmaceutical companies like Johnson & Johnson. The rest of them. Don't tell me they're not fucking getting kickbacks from this.
Oh, hell yes. Hands are being greased.
This is ridiculous.
It's like the mob. It's exactly what they are. Like a legalized version of the mob.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has also purchased monoclonal antibody treatments for his state. DeSantis tweeted out September 23rd, 2021. Watch now, Governor DeSantis announces acquisition of additional dose of monoclonal antibody treatments to counteract the federal government's reducing Florida's supply of Regeneron monoclonal treatments. I love that. I love how the states are kind of like, well, you know what? If the federal government's not going to give us what we need, we'll just go out to we'll go directly to the supplier and do it. That's how it should be.
Yep.
That's how Ford did during World War II when it transformed into like a freaking weapons manufacturing shit like that. Things like that, tanks, all of them, all these big industry leaders, like the governments and stuff, went straight to them.
Yeah.
They incentivized them. I mean, maybe at the federal level back then, but this is another example of how state level government can actually, in a free market. And the other thing is, like, as that company, if it's purchased, that company can expand. That's more money given to them that they can spend. Now, what they do with it, it's up to them. But that's free market versus government forced and regulated, saying that we are going to get it from them. And by the way, if it doesn't work, you can't sue them.
Right.
Like, again, you've got a rigged system that's not even guaranteed to work. And you've got another system. It's like, okay, well, we're going to watch. We're going to keep an eye on this and see how it does. But the thing is, if like the federal or the state government purchases from this, the monoclonal antibody treatments, there's a negative side effect, they can still be sued. They can be fucking sued. So it's kind of like, you better make sure this shit works.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of have a good feeling about this.
Yeah, I don't agree with any of the rushed vaccine or anything like that came out first. This should have been the first thing.
Wow.
So,
or at least tried, yeah.
Yeah, so the government should have reached out to independent private companies.
Yeah.
And
I mean, how many
doctors
of these companies
and scientists and said, hey, what can we do to minimize the spread and the outbreak and people who have it? What can we do?
Yeah.
What are the therapeutics?
Well, I think a lot of it was just people were pressured to where like there's like we want a vaccine, because I think vaccine was like the buzzword. Everybody's like, I want a vaccine, we want a vaccine, want a vaccine. And then they finally like expedited one, and it's not even proven that it'll work. I mean, it was proven multiple times that it didn't work because people with the vaccine are still spreading it.
Yeah,
they're still getting COVID.
Yeah, they said what 95%.
Yeah,
that's what Trump said. He was like, it was like 95% success rate. So but
the product will serve as a supplement for shortage in the Regeneron supply for the state of Florida, which will receive a shipment of 18,000 treatments from the federal government this month, according to NBC Miami. Last week, he said Florida will receive approximately 3,000 doses of GlaxoSmithKline antibody treatment product Sutrovimab. All right, this stuff is getting complicated to me as far as how you pronounce this stuff, but they're taking an alternate method and seeing if it works. I like this. This is why the FDA is not fucking needed. This is why the FDA is not fucking needed and should be abolished. The FDA is worthless. You want to talk about like how America has it so fucking good? This right here. Analysis claims racism causes tree inequity in U.S. cities. Let me read that for you again. This is how bad America has it right now. Analysis claims racism causes tree inequity in U.S. cities. An analysis from a geospatial data company argues the number of trees planted in different neighborhoods nationwide is unequal along racial lines and says the threat of tree inequality is real and growing. This is where we're at, ladies and gentlemen. This is how bad America's gotten. We've got tree inequality that in certain neighborhoods, and I got a feeling I know which neighborhoods we're talking about, don't have as many trees. I wonder why. Because the trees are racist. Where's that fucking racist Lorax, you son of a bitch? You son of a bitch. I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees, but I don't want to go into the ghetto because, you know, it's trash.
Just damn white pines.
Fucking white pines. Oh my God, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. For the trees believe in the BLM. No, not really. Oh my God. Earth defines uses as artificial intelligence classification model to detect areas of an aerial image that are covered by trees as opposed. This is like, who spends money on this? Like, what scientist is like, we're going to take geographical aerial photos or aerial geographical, and we're going to compare trees and somehow liken it to racism.
What are the odds that they got a grant from the United States government that funded this project? I'm going to say 100%.
Aerial image that covered by trees as opposed to other ground cover like shrubs, buildings, and asphalt. Then they calculate the percentage of the total land area that is covered by trees, a metric called tree canopy cover. The San Francisco Chronicle reported and compared the California's city's tree cover with other U.S. It's California. Of course it's California. This is what you're wasting money on. San Francisco has an estimated 669,000 trees, covering about 15% of the city's total area. This is significantly lower than other cities, including Los Angeles, which has a tree canopy cover of 21%. New York City has 24%, and Seattle and Portland have nearly 30% of the area covered in trees. The Chronicle reported that Earth Define, in partnership with Planet Geo, provides this data for all U.S. cities every 2 years to help city agencies and conservation organizations keep track of tree plantings. But it is what the left-wing media outlets promotes as an underlying reason why some neighborhoods have less trees than others that is controversial. The importance of trees is also departure from the common sense consensus and their benefits. Trees are hugely important to a city. Not only do they enhance its aesthetics, but they also provide wide-ranging environmental and social benefits. According to the Vibrant Cities Lab, a collaboration between the U.S. Forest Service, American Forest, and the National Association of Regional Councils, trees can reduce air pollution, clean stormwater, as well as provide the physical and mental health of nearby residents. Some studies even find that more trees are associated with reducing certain types of crime and improve. I can't even. What? Like, trees are responsible for reducing crime? Like, maybe if you're using it for cover. Like, what? Certain types of crime? Like, okay, like, I'll bite. What types of crime are we talking about? We talking about like geo-terrorists? Like, what? You guys about to lob this fucking Molotov filled with like acid and shit, but that tree got in my way. Fucking pine trees prevented crime. Rabble. Fucking
we talking trees like from Lord of the Rings?
Dude, that's what I'm
walking around.
Hobbits, trees. Like the Lorax is out there just ready to go. Like, we're out here fighting crime. I am the Lorax, and this is my 240 Bravo, bitches. To understand what type of neighborhood is associated with more or less tree cover, we compare the tree canopy numbers with the median household income to each San Francisco census tract, a geographic area about 1,200 to 8,000 residents overall. We found the wealthier consensus tracts tend to have more tree cover. Well, yes. Why wouldn't they? Like, if you have more money and I want to put a nice tree or a palm or whatever in my house, then yes, that's what's going to happen. Therefore, I have the money to do it. Oh, but that's racist. And okay, yeah. I'm wondering which parts... What was it, San Francisco or San Diego? Which parts are they covering in the study? Oh my God. Overall, we found that wealthier consensus tracts tend to have more tree. That's almost like saying we found in these wealthier neighborhoods they have nicer cars. That's racist.
What? Huh?
And the way they're going to trickle down this, it's trickle down racism. It's going to say basically that rich people can buy trees, poor people can't because they're black or they're minorities, and there's financial diversity or there's financial inequality, and it's racism. Hence, trees are now racist. A lack of tree cover is now racist. Oh, wasn't it Shakespeare that said the first thing we should do is like hang all the lawyers and shit like that?
Did he?
Something like that. I feel the same way as like we should hang all the fucking journalists. If we want this country to be right, get rid of the press. I'm not being serious.
Yeah, they're all mediocre journalists.
They're not even journalists. They're just hit piece writers.
Yeah.
Fucking White Oak. Racist ass fucking White Oak.
It's like nobody stands out. None of them.
New York vaccine COVID mandate for healthcare workers begins. Unvaccinated workers face termination. This is true. This is real. New York State's COVID-19 vaccine mandate for healthcare workers took effect Monday, leaving hospitals and nursing homes across New York braced for the prospect of severe staff shortages fueled by workers getting suspended or fired for refusing to be inoculated. Officials say 84% of state workers are fully vaccinated. That number is actually incorrect. That number is actually very incorrect. But with thousands still thought to be holding out, an administration prepared contingency plans that include cutting back on non-critical services and limiting admissions to nursing homes. As the deadline closed in, Governor Kathy Hochul made an 11th-hour plea to hold out healthcare workers to get inoculated. To those who have not yet made the decision, please do the right thing, she said at a press briefing. A lot of your employers are anxious to just give you the jab in the arm and say you're part of the family. Meh, meh, meh. Fucking sheep. Eyewitness News spoke with a woman who has been a nurse for more than 20 years who says she was terminated from her job at Mather Hospital and her last day of South Shore Surgery Center is Monday. For us, it's not just about the vaccines, it's about human rights as well. For the people that wanted to take the vaccine, and these people I think should have taken the vaccine, she said, I'm not against the vaccine. I'm also against human rights violations, and you have the right to choose to take it, and I should have the right to choose not to if I feel like it's not good for me. Hochul says she's prepared for a worker shortage, which plans to call in immediately medically trained National Guard members and healthcare workers from other states. Nassau County Executive Laura Curran said the county is prepared. I have been in contact with our hospital system. I am confident they are prepared to deliver quality care with this vaccine mandate in place, she said. Most of Nassau's hospitals, 80 to 90% of their staff are vaccinated. As an extra precaution, I have activated Nassau's Office of Emergency Management to stay in constant contact with our other hospitals to assist as necessary with any staffing shortages. The rules apply not just to the people like doctors and nurses, but also to others who work in healthcare institutions like food and service worker administrations and cleaners. Healthcare workers in Suffolk County held a rally Monday to protest the state's vaccine mandates for healthcare workers. I'm going to stand my ground, said healthcare worker Stephanie Touche. Touche said she plans to report to work every day at the orthopedic practice Orland & Cohen in Port Jefferson until they force her to leave. Touche said she requested a religious exemption, which was denied. Oh, it's almost like they're discriminating against her First Amendment right. Weird. How many people have to die to protect your freedom? All of them. Don't give a fuck about your family. Don't give a shit. I'm not even going to pretend like I do. And don't even pretend like you care about mine. Like, stop. Let's stop this pretending, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stop the pretending. We don't care. I don't fucking care. After we've seen Democrats rally against us for the last 6 years, wishing death on us, not giving a fuck about us, when Don Lemon comes out there and said we should face consequences, when Biden says things about Border Patrol, we're going to make them pay. Don't sit there and pretend like I should give a fuck about your life, especially if you're a liberal. I don't. I don't fucking care. I really don't. Not when it comes to COVID. I'm not even going to sit and pretend that I do. We've been attacked by you nonstop. You've attempted to violate our human rights, our God-given rights so many times. Why the fuck should I give a fuck about the life of a brown shirt? Why? I don't. I'm not even going to sit and pretend like I do. I don't. And I'm talking about the extremists. I'm not talking about Democrats that get the vaccine and say, hey, I still support your right to do it. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the fringe. I'm talking about the fringe motherfuckers like Don Lemon and the rest of them. I don't care about you. Other Democrats that are rooted in reality, that are for the freedom to choose, we're cool. I got no beef with you. I respect that. It's the fringe motherfuckers. I'm not even going to sit here and pretend like I give a shit about you. If COVID took you out, I wouldn't even fucking care. Wouldn't even fucking care. None of my concern. Because don't sit there and pretend like you give a fuck about me. I could be on fire and you wouldn't give a shit. Let's stop pretending otherwise. There you have it. That concludes today's show, ladies and gentlemen. We got a special interview tonight with I Am Smith Fitness out of New York. That's going to be starting at 7 p.m. CST tonight. He has confirmed he will be on to ask him some questions. I'll also be taking questions from the Twitch chat. I appreciate your love. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you go share the podcast. Go leave a review on iTunes for us. You are continuously helping expand our voices to get out there. Again, Josh and I do this on our own. We are decentralized. We are with no political party. We do this on our own. Also, make sure you check out shellshockcbd.com. We've got the tankards. We've got the tankards for you right here. They're live. They're on the site. They are limited runs. And in the bottom of each one, if you can see it on the screen, we have a built-in bottle opener. That's pretty badass. These things are amazing. They are sealed on the outside with polyurethane and on the inside food-safe epoxy. You can put hot and cold liquids in. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've got a birthday coming up, you've got holidays coming up right around the corner, grab one for your loved one. There'd be a big hit with the man in your life. If he's manly, if he's a liberal, we could probably make some teacups. I don't know. Maybe something like that. Maybe a wooden dildo.
Some
I don't know.
China.
Some China. So check them out. That's on shellshockcbd.com. That's where the tankards and the pipes are at. If you go at the top, there's a tab that says Tipsy's Woodworking. Click that. They're there. Limited supplies only. Once they're gone, they are gone. That's it. No more. And by the way, we are probably not going to bring the pipes back either. We basically just said we're going to be pursuing a different avenue. So once they're gone, ladies and gentlemen. First one to get it is first one to get it. We've already sold like over, like 500 in the since we launched last week, I think.
Yeah.
They've been going fast.
Really fast.
So once you get it, it's yours. I appreciate the love and support. Anything to add, Josh?
Yeah, make sure you check out our new Delta 8 products that are coming out too.
Oh yeah, what are we dropping now?
We're going to be dropping the Asteroids, which are like
hard chewy candy.
They're a 10 milligram.
Oh, they're 10 milligrams a piece?
They're 10 milligrams a piece.
Oh, that explains
the Asteroids are.
Okay,
and then we also have Weedos and Doritos.
They're coming out.
Yeah, and those are fantastic.
Got a lot of
fun
stuff
for everybody.
Fun for everybody. Got a lot of stuff coming out for you guys. Appreciate the love and support. Thank you for sharing the podcast, and I will talk to y'all tonight at 7 p.m. CST with I Am Smith Fitness.